Well, hello, welcome again, and let's continue. And remember, just share your like with us, and thanks so much for your support. Okay, let's continue talking about the first steps. I know I say the first step is download Android Studio, but we need to verify if we have everything. Okay, to continue. Well, now you are in the first screen or first step in Android Studio, but in the right side here we have this element in the menu. If you click here, you will see these options. Okay, let's talk about the SDK manager. Okay, let's click, and you will see you will find this list. Okay, and if you try to put attention in this option in this data, you will see you can find a different Android versions. Okay, if you are now a developer, I know you are a developer now because you are working with Android Studio, you don't have to worry too much about the name, because this name, okay, is a very commercial name. Okay, so when the people try to sell you a cell phone, okay, a smartphone with Android, probably you will hear a Android Froyo or Android Gingerbread. Okay, but it's not good data for developers. Okay, the developers probably we never talk about the version using the name. We use always the API level. Okay, if you see all the versions in Android, all the versions, they have an API level. Okay, so for example, if you are a developer, you try to use the API level 13 when you want to say Android Honeycomb. Okay, why? Because if you see, we have three versions Honeycomb here, 3.2, 3.1, and 3.0. Okay, the three options they call Honeycomb. So it's very complicated for us to know the specific version. Okay, so this is why the developers always use the API level. Okay, because it's very easy. It's a unique number. Okay, so we try to avoid the confusion. Okay, if you use the API level, and if you see, let me increase the size and change the width. Okay, if you see, you will see the API level and you will see a revision. The revision is like the name says, is a number of revision. Sometimes you will see some versions with just one revision. Sometimes you will see versions with 3 or 5 or 6 or more revisions. You don't have to worry too much about the revisions. It's not an important number for the developers. Because the most important thing is you have you are using the last version or the revision. Okay, so this is the most important thing. How do you know that? Well, if you see, for example, here I have the version Android number 10, the API level 29. I have in my computer because I use, you can see this square is selected. Okay, is because I have it. And you see the version revision is number 5. The status is installed. That means I have this option in my computer. Okay, with the final revision. But for example, let me try to find, I don't have it. Well, for example, here, if you see, I have this version, the API number 30, partially installed. So it's not complete. So if I want to use it, I need to install completed. Okay, so that's the other point. You can use you will use a lot this status column. Okay, for you, because you will see if you need to update the version. Okay, or if you need to download because you don't have this option in your computer. Okay, in your configuration. So this is the SDK manager. Okay, you can use this to verify your SDKs in your computer. And remember, try to understand this. Okay, it's very easy. If you want to create applications for a specific version, well, you need this version in your computer because you will use it. So that's the general meaning about this Android SDK. Okay, SDK is software development kit. Okay, so that's why we need it, because it's the tool to create and use Android. Okay, and we have the SDK tools too. You don't have to worry too much about it, because if you don't have all the options, and it's okay, you Android Studio, you receive a message, and you will see a message in a dialog in your Android Studio when you need to download something. Okay, so you don't have to worry too much and be prepared for everything, because it's a joke. You can't prepare everything. Okay, but if it's a good point to know now you have a different paths to understand and to find the options and the tools. Okay, well, for example, in my case, in this computer, I have the Google Play services, I have the Google Play license, Android SDK platforms tools. It is a general, so probably you will need it. Android emulator too is very general, and Android SDK command line tools, very general too. Probably you will have the same like me. And well, if you have more options, it's okay. You can just click here and select apply, and you will download these options. Okay, and SDK updates, if you see here, is URLs for you can see, you can take this like a connection between the Android Studio and the server to download the tool. Okay, so sometimes you need to come here and add, for example, here the name and the URL, and you will see the option here. Okay, so it's a different way to get access to some tools. Okay, so this window is the we can say maybe the second or the third most important when you are trying to start, because it's a good point to see what else do you need to use to install or your tools for works with Android. Okay, so well, after that, my recommendation for this is you can install in this moment at least, I think, maybe any version of Nougat, it's okay, or Oreo, maybe it's okay too. Well, if you want to play with more Android versions, just download the options and let's play together with Android and specific APIs. Okay, well, let's see you in the next video.